What is going on, guys, and welcome to the SmackDown Live preview, the edition 24th of January, the go-home show for Raw. Now, before the Raw Rumble. Jesus Christ, I really fucked that up, didn't I? But, you know, what an incredible Raw it was. It really was an enjoyable Raw. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, I mean, SmackDown, for the first time in a long time, has got sort of a point to prove. It's got a bit of competition, and can it, have a decent show like Raw did, and get us even more hyped for the Royal Rumble. Now, of course, they're not going to have The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg there, but, you know, arguably Raw needed those stars that were already stars to make their show great. SmackDown's built their stars, it's got you invested in the characters, therefore it doesn't necessarily need The Undertakers and the Brock Lesnars and the Goldbergs to have a great show. That's just my theory on the whole matter. But we're going to be going through the preview that's on WWE.com. We're going to be talking about what I personally think is going to be happening on SmackDown. It will be a relatively brief preview. I don't want it to go on too long, just because I don't want to waste too much of your time. And also, I'm running out of time to get this video up before the friggin' start of SmackDown. Well, not before the start of SmackDown, but yeah, well, actually, before the start of SmackDown at this rate. So, let's have a look at the official page then and see what happened. Obviously, last week we had Mickie James coming back to SmackDown. It was very, very a great moment. We had a good steel cage match, which I said something was missing from it. I should probably. I think I was being harsh last week when I said there was something missing in it. I don't think it was a bad match. There was just missing something. But as I say, maybe that's just me being extra critical, just for the sake of being extra critical. That could very easily be the reason for it. But I thought there was just something missing. But then again, as I say, I could be completely wrong. And it was more than fine. But there's a lot of stuff already hyped for the match, including an encounter between Randy Orton and Luke Harper before the Royal Rumble. To decide the future of the Wyatt family. Now, what that means is anyone's guess. Does it mean whoever loses is at the Wyatt family? Or does it mean that, I don't know, no one knows. And that's the great thing about this rivalry. That's the great thing about the Wyatt family, is you just cannot call what the hell is going on in the family. It's impossible to call. That's what makes it so entertaining. Because as I say, I have no idea what's going on here. This could go any way. I would have thought Orton will win. Just because, I just would have thought Orton will win. Doubt they'll let Harper go over Orton. I'd love to see them do it because they'd instantly build a new star, but they won't do it for that probably exact reason. Luke Harper, I think, out of everybody, really deserves to get a big push and just hasn't been able to, for whatever reason, the company just hasn't given him one. I don't want to say companies because I've been watching Prison Break and there's company just humour me, fucking hell. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it, but I mean, it's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on, whether the Wyatt family come out of this looking stronger than ever, which I think is something that would be good, or whether this is the end of the Wyatt family, or at least the end of the Wyatt family as we know it. I don't know if I'm the only one who is waiting for Sister Abigail to turn up, but I do feel like Sister Abigail is around the corner. I'm not saying it's going to turn up tonight, but I do feel maybe after WrestleMania, not long after WrestleMania, we'll have something to do with Sister Abigail. I hope we do, because she's an awesome character. You know, it's an awesome... Well, I know I said it's an awesome character, we've never seen her before. But you know what I mean? It sounds awesome. It is impossible for it not to work. And it would add a new dimension to the Wyatt family. It would mean the Wyatt family could go in and conquer the women's division. That's why I say after WrestleMania, because at the moment the women's division is pretty stacked and doing pretty well on SmackDown. If you're gonna, we've got Natalya and Nikki Bella in a great feud. We've got Mickie James now into the mix in the title with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Obviously, we've got Carmella doing a thing. Yeah, granted, it's terrible, but that's beside the point. She's doing it with James Ellsworth. So yeah, I mean, the SmackDown Women's Division at the moment doesn't require a Sister Abigail, but soon I believe it might. And how ironic that I'm about to play a team on FIFA called Bray. But anyway, I'll be playing that after this game. But let's just have a little read of what they have said on the WWE.com for the preview. Last week, Bray Wyatt announced that before the Wyatt family can take part in the Royal Rumble match on Sunday, Randy Orton and Luke Harper must first square off against each other tonight in an attempt to quell their ongoing internal turmoil. The new face of fear has made no bones about the fact that a family divided is no family at all. Jesus. But will a match between Harper and Orton fix the problems or finish off the dreaded faction for good? Find out tonight. No, I'm not going to do it. 8/7 Central on the USA Network. So that's what I don't want to say. But that's just really unnecessary, really random, really not required. But never mind. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, this is them building into the Royal Rumble. But I think this has been one of the most interesting and engaging storylines. It's been different layers to it, tough to predict. And I think that's the thing with a lot of storylines in WWE at the moment. And maybe it's because I'm older now and I understand the business a little bit more. But a lot of them are easy to predict. It's obvious what's going to happen next. But this one, there just seems to be twists and turns here, there, and everywhere. And it's making it engaging. It's making it entertaining. I wish that's the only thing that I think in the last couple of years WWE's missing a little bit is that surprise and shock element. We don't see it as much. And those swerves that are just genuinely shocking. But I think SmackDown does it well. We've had it with the Ziggler turn. We've had it with the shocks of even going back to the first episode of SmackDown where Ziggler won that 6-man and he went and faced Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam. Yes, the match was gobshite, but it was still a massive shock. That they have produced those shocks. Styles becoming the champion and then Ellsworth, but there is those shocks. Raw has had a couple. Finn Balor, Kevin Owens to name two. I suppose last night the Undertaker thingy. But that creates buzz when something happens that you don't expect to happen, whether that be a heel turn, a face turn, an incredible face to face, a title change that you just didn't expect, somebody an upset that you didn't expect. It creates buzz, it gets people talking, and that's something that they have to want in WWE, because when people are talking about the company, I'm saying company again, when people are talking about WWE, that is a good thing, because that then gets the casual fans watching again. That gets the fans that maybe have never watched before, or only watched perhaps WrestleMania once a year, to watch. I know a lot of people who usually only watch WrestleMania. They're watching the Royal Rumble this year, and they're watching the Royal Rumble because they've heard Goldberg's in it, Undertaker's in it, Lesnar's in it. They're hearing these names and they're saying, I want to watch that Rumble. Now, what you're probably thinking is, so they're not going to know about the Strowmans, etc. But book them well in the Rumble, they're going to have Strowman who they're going to look at them and think, oh my God, he's an absolute brute force. So the fans that watch it once a year, that's how you then try and grab them and make them and turn them in from once a year watchers to regular watchers or casual fans. And then casual fans, if the Royal Rumble really entertains them, they turn into hardcore fans. That's how you do it. And that's how WWE did it with Sting so well. And then they fucked up. They had so much momentum with Sting and then they bollocksed it up. I mean, I came back and watched WWE after about, I don't know how long it was, probably a year hiatus from the company. And I came back and watched it at Hell in the Cell. And the reason was, thank God Facebook exists, I saw the day after my birthday, Hell in the Cell on that little news thing, and it said Randy Orton, John Cena in a Hell in a Cell match. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to watch that match. I've seen it 100 times, but I'm going to watch it. And I watched it. I was entertained by it. And I thought, you know what, I'll watch Raw and just see what's going on. I didn't expect myself to get hooked in it again. First episode of Raw, Authority versus Team Cena, and I was hooked again. Survivor Series Sting came, I was hooked. We're in WrestleMania season, you're never ever going to... And that was it. Bang, hit WrestleMania 31 that was. WrestleMania 32 I watched. Now moving on to my WrestleMania 33. WrestleMania 30 is the only WrestleMania I missed, but I went back and watched every single pay-per-view that I missed and caught up basically with 12 months that I missed. Pretty quickly, pretty easily. I didn't watch all the Raws. I watched basically the top 10 moments on YouTube. But I pretty much caught up. And the way they did it was because they hooked me in straight away. And that's what happens. I'm not saying normal people would be hooked by Cena Orton. And I to this day don't know why I was. But for some reason it hooked me. For some reason I want to see it. If you're seeing Goldberg, Lesnar, Undertaker, a lot of people... If anybody's ever watched wrestling before, they're going to look at those three names and they're going to say, damn it, I've got to watch this match. Jericho. Not Seth Rollins anymore. So you would literally be mad to miss it. So if you watch that match, if the Royal Rumble's a good show, if Styles Cena blows the house off and blows the roof off, which it will, I bet my life on that match being one of the best matches, I'm going to go out on a limb here, we've ever seen. I think they'll eclipse their SummerSlam match, and I didn't even think that was possible, but I think they're going to make it possible. Now, we might not like the Roman Reigns Kevin Owens story, but they put on a good match. The fan who hasn't watched in 6, 7, maybe even a couple of years, when I say 6, 7, I meant to say months, I forgot the word, but anyway, if that match is good, they ain't going to care about the story because they haven't seen it. WWE can make stories. There's one thing WWE can do. They can make stories look very, very good in those 3-minute video packages. Now, we might have had to sit through the shit and actually know, in reality, that 3 minutes makes it look extraordinary, when in reality it's been absolute garbage and I've nearly been falling asleep. But that's irrelevant because they only see that 3 minutes. That gets them hyped for that match. If the match is then good, again, they're hooked. I don't know why I'm getting into this because I suppose it's completely irrelevant, but I do want more people to watch wrestling. I think as a wrestling fan, you want more people to watch it. Although you do get some that are like, no, don't like the new fans. If you haven't been watching wrestling for 10 years, you know, you're not relevant. But I don't. I like things going bigger. I mean, WWE is a global brand. It is world wrestling entertainment. Everywhere around the world. I guarantee you went to every single country, they would know what WWE is. 110%. It is that global. It is. I mean, they do tours in Abu Dhabi now. Tours all around Europe. Tours in Australia. Tours in, obviously, Canada and the United States, but that's a fucking given. They basically do tours all across the world. And with the network, they've got a fantastic model to be able to really grow the show. Now, I wanted to keep this SmackDown preview short, and I've gone on an absolute... Oh, God, Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to keep it short, and what have I done? Gone off on a tangent for 10 minutes. Oh, never mind. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the preview, and I just need to stop talking. Why don't I do these videos more where I'm just talking about shit like this? If you'd like to see that, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. Renee Young is set to interview the returning Mickie James. She was really revealed as La Luchadora last week. I keep calling it Dora, but that's probably because Dora the Explorer's on. Well, not now, but you know, just... But anyway, that'll be interesting to see. Renee Young. Why the hell is Mickie James with Alexa Bliss? Nobody really know. I don't really know, actually. So it'll be interesting to find out what it is. I personally think there might be an ulterior motive. I can't say that word properly. And Mickie James is going to end up screwing, and I don't mean like that, Alexa Bliss, and then going after the title herself, whether that be that Becky's then got it or whether that be her. I don't know, but that's something that I feel. I just would be surprised if Mickie James, of all people, a legend, a 5-time women's champion, you know, would come back and be second fiddle to Alexa Bliss. That would confuse me. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see what is ahead. Why has she decided to go with Alexa Bliss? And, you know, why is she back? You know, that's another thing. Why are you back, Mickie? Why? And if she goes on back for the Women's Championship, well, the person you've just aligned yourself with has that prize. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and it certainly gives a new layer to this Women's Championship feud that need a new layer. And again, another thing that SmackDown's been great doing, as soon as storylines don't get sour, they don't wait for them to get sour, but while they're getting to the point where you're thinking, a couple more weeks of this and then it's going to start to get boring, bang, they give you a new thing, they give you a new layer, they give it fresh. It almost feels like a fresh feud now with the inclusion of Mickie James. Will AJ Styles call out John Cena? I hope so. I want these two verbal sparring. You know, I don't care how, they can go all day. I just enjoy it, you know. Verbal sparring, no physical altercation, verbal sparring. Styles gets his word in, Cena gets his words in, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, bang. Cena takes his shirt off, goes, yeah, let's fight, and Styles leaves. That would be good. Heel heat, Cena's looking like the champ, the strong one who never gives up. I do kind of like Cena. Cena, obviously, when I was 11, I used to be a big Cena fan. Every 11-year-old is a Cena fan. You know that when you did a Let's Go Cena sucks. The Cena sucks the really low people, you know, the old people, the low voices. And Let's Go Cena's like the 2-year-olds and the women who find him attractive. Like, that's how I differentiate the chants. It doesn't matter what they're chanting. I can just tell from the tone. But yeah, you cannot deny Cena's an incredible worker. Puts on incredible matches, fantastic promo-wise. Yes, he's super seedy. Yes, he doesn't lose much. But then at the same time, a lot of people criticise him for that. But then when somebody does win against John Cena, oh god damn, you better believe it's a big, big deal. Like when Styles beat him clean at SummerSlam, holy shit, that was a big moment. You know, if he faces... I'm literally going out on a limb here, but if Cena's to face Baron Corbin at WrestleMania, and I'm not saying that match is going to happen, I'm not saying I even want that match to happen, but let's just say Baron Corbin wins, Baron Corbin is a made superstar there and then. Because when you beat John Cena, you are the guy, as Roman Reigns would say. You are a big friggin' thing. Take out Alberto Del Rio, when you beat John Cena clean, it is big. And that only happens because Cena hardly ever loses. So, although, yes, it's annoying that Cena always seems to win, at the same time, it makes it very, very special when he loses. Same with Brock Lesnar. You know, and I know Lesnar's completely different, but when Lesnar got beat by Goldberg so quickly, that was incredible. Even when Lesnar squashed Cena in that 20-minute SummerSlam match, a glorified squash match, because Cena got in hardly any offense, that was a huge deal, because Super Cena didn't look super at SummerSlam. So I think the way they can do... It's the same with Rusev. It's the same when anybody goes on a streak. The great thing about a streak is... If you're on a streak, you look good. You know, like Charlotte's pay-per-view streak is making her look good, and whoever the hell beats that streak is going to look amazing, is going to come out of it as a credible and a huge superstar, diva, woman, whatever. They need another... I assume they're just called superstars now, the women, rather than... They haven't got like a specific name. It's the same with The Undertaker. When his streak went, and I know a lot of people didn't like it, but Lesnar, you cannot deny, transformed into a out-of-this-world character. He was no longer a superstar. He was on another level. And he went on a run of unbelievable results and unbelievable performances. And bang! Yes, it was Goldberg who beat him, but Goldberg beat him, and then now Goldberg's a big deal. And it's given a different layer to the Brock Lesnar character. You see what I'm saying? This is how you do it. I've gone off on a tangent again, so this short SmackDown preview is turned into a friggin' long one. But yeah, love to see a verbal altercation between John Cena and AJ Styles. So yeah, last week we saw the Jerry Lawler Dolph Ziggler thing, and KW made a good point. And it's very true, because I didn't actually know that Ziggler was the one in a match with Jerry Lawler that night. I knew, much like KWE, that Jerry Lawler was in a match. I didn't have a clue who he was against, so that was interesting to see. Very, very clever to bring that in. I still don't understand why anybody would bitch about that. Get over yourself. But Kalisto, is he getting... Oh no, he is getting payback. Seeks payback, and it is Ziggler versus Kalisto one-on-one. Now, either Ziggler loses and heads to the Rumble, which I believe he's in, on a losing streak, or he gets his big important win, or Apollo Crews could interject. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it should be an okay match. I think if Kalisto and Dolph Ziggler are given time, they could put on a very, very good match. If they want it to be short and more of a storyline thing, again, that's what they'll do. But that is what they're talking about on SmackDown. Only 4 bits, so we have, in a sense, done a reasonably quick review. Although I haven't really been speaking too much about SmackDown. I kind of haven't. I hope you've enjoyed this SmackDown preview. Obviously, just before the pay-per-view, there's only so much that I can talk about, because I don't really want to talk too much about the Rumble, because I want to leave that to the preview and the pre-show for that. So yeah, I'm obviously limited on what I can say. On a review, equally, I've got to be a bit careful of what I say. But we'll be back with a review, hopefully early tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get it out 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock GMT time. So yeah, hopefully we get that out quickly. Apologies about Raw, that was a little bit delayed today. But I mean, it was taking so long to upload, and I don't understand why, because the file is incredibly small. But it's just how shit my internet is, folks. But anyway, we'll end it here, so this video actually does get up before the bloody show. I appreciate it if you have watched this before the show. The fact that it's going up late will probably make people think it's the actual show. So they'll watch it and think, oh my god, it's the show, dislike it, and then I'll get more views. So it's great, isn't it? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Enjoy SmackDown. I'll be back with a review even, tomorrow.